Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. Let me see if I can bring this closer so you guys can see me better. Hold on. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Okay. So, I feel like this is an appropriate topic to have, especially with the fact that Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So, again, with the fact that we're getting ready to embark on Valentine's Day being tomorrow, right? I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. For those who are, I guess you could say in the market, or some of us who are choosing to be either solo dolo, or if you are one that is in a relationship, you probably could relate to this as well. So for me personally, it's more so just, I'm kind of more so like still in the market, let's put it that way. So, but what I've encountered, and I've always encountered this, but I'm really starting to encounter it now. I don't know why, maybe it's energy or something, I don't know. But I find it that if you're one that tends to get a lot of attention from a lot of people, and actually surprisingly on both ends, meaning both genders, you find that it could be overwhelming. It could be, it can cause a lot of anxiety. Let me explain. So for me personally, of course, as you get older, things like that, you start to see more in terms of the world, and you understand that it's not what you were always taught in school or in church. So when I started noticing this, even in getting into corporate, I've noticed I would get quite a bit of attention from both sides. And, even though for me personally, I've always been drawn to team hetero. I wish I was going to do a little heart for that, but, at the same time, I do respect and commend all other groups as well, okay? But yeah, with that being the case, I still would end up getting people of my own gender who are drawn into me too. And it's kind of hard to figure out how to maneuver through that, because you're a little taken aback at first, and you don't want to come off as being rude. I try not to be rude by letting them know, like, I appreciate it, but no thank you. But yeah, it's kind of confusing, because it's like, wow, this is the world that we're in now. And it's not such a bad thing. It's not like it's the end of the world type deal. Please understand I'm not saying that. But for some of us who never ventured off into that space, if you will, it's a bit jolting. It can be like it's complimentary, it's flattering, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's I don't know what else to say but jolty, and kind of like again, for me personally, I kind of get bad anxiety. I get real bad anxiety when stuff like that happens. I'm just like, how do I maneuver through this? Like, how do I tell this person, like, thank you for the compliment, or thank you for the offer, but no, I can't. I don't do that. And I commend them for being so brave to even try to bring it my way. And same could be said even in regards to guys. Like, let's talk with the men. Like, there's so many great potential partners that are out there, right? Especially if you are one that hasn't really gotten tied down with that one and you're still out there dating. Some of us tend to be more old school, but some of us just prefer that traditional, like, hey, if you cross paths with a person when you're out at a store or a restaurant or the movies, or just simply just taking a nice walk, if you happen to cross paths with someone the good old-fashioned way, that's good enough for me. And or events, like if there was like business events, things like that, which is usually like a good place to go in my opinion. I say all that to say, I feel for me personally, that's more of a safe approach for me when it comes to finding that new person. But I say all that to say, I love the freedom that I have at this point, simply for the fact that, for me personally, I know I'm not the only one, but knowing that the world is my oyster when it comes to the relationship pool. knowing that you are the one that has such a great energy and so much you could bring to the table, right? And knowing that others obviously pick up on that from both sides and find interest in that when it pertains to you. That's a pretty big compliment. It's very flattering, but at the same time, for the one who's receiving all of the energy and all the interaction and things, it could be a bit much. So it's just all about how one chooses to maneuver through the maze when it comes to all of this. It really falls on the individual. But you have to admit, for those of us who are encountering this and have been for some time, you have to admit it is kind of fun, and it's kind of funny to witness too. And you know, at the end of the day, again, even with it being Valentine's Day tomorrow, I think it's great. Again, just, you know, being able to get the little gifts. Like I have something, well, I don't know if I should show this. I got some on my desk. Someone gave me a gift earlier, and I want to thank them if they ever come across this video. Thank you for the gift. I have it on my desk here. But apparently they found out I like roses, so that was nice of them. I don't know how they figured that out, but somehow they found out, and it worked out. So I want to definitely thank them for that. But even outside of that, you know, I would say for those who are in the similar scenario like myself, when maneuvering through this maze, just do so sensibly. Meaning, like, even if you have like maybe someone out of the group that you're facing, that you're looking to take up on going on a date with, do so sensibly and see what actually comes from it. And do so in such a way that you have respect for self. Don't spread yourself thin. And especially for the women, please hear me when I say this, because especially in 2026, some of the stuff I've seen, and we got to do better. We do. And not saying every single woman, but certain ones that are coming up in this time frame, we need to do better when it comes to truly showing others that we have respect for self. And we expect them to show that level of respect when it pertains to us as we give it to them. That is all for this quick video, you guys. It was just more of a chit chat because I was just thinking, like, I'm overwhelmed with the responses I've been getting. And not only in terms of my daily interactions, and this is what I'm talking about, but also with online. And it's like I said, sometimes I get anxiety real bad. I'm just like, I don't know what to do, especially when it's coming from my own gender. It's just like, how, like, again, I try to be very, very soft into my approach and my answer when I acknowledge it and say thank you, but then I also have to let them know nicely that it's a no thanks for me. And thankfully they understand it. Like, no one's walking away but hurt or anything, but they knew that they were taking a big chance by even trying to bring it to my attention. But I still appreciate the bravery in them doing it. But and even outside of that, when we're talking about the male side, as far as those who, you know, make their presence known, they very much do it just like that. And some of them are very old school, which is something that really stands out to me, that old school way of treating the woman. Like, I love it where I can see a man still understands the notion of how the woman needs to stand on the inside of the sidewalk while he stands on the outer when we're walking down the street. Or the fact that a man understands that he needs to go before the woman to open up the door, before they step in or step out of a building, a setting. The fact that the man would take time out to even step ahead of the woman to open the car door. Rain, sleet, or snow, right? The fact that we can go to even an outing like a restaurant, and the man understands the notion of picking up the tab and not being heavily aggressive on wanting something after the date. You understand? Old school. We need more of that, because sometimes these guys of this time, you're complaining about things that women are doing, and equally enough, some of these women are choosing not to do it. Maybe because they weren't conditioned or trained or brought up in such a way to understand what they should be doing, or should consider doing, I should say. But at the same time, you have an equal portion that you should be doing should be doing too. Something to think about. Yep, so done with ranting here, but as always, you guys, I'm gonna send you off with love and light, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone who's going out tomorrow. I wonder if I should post up what I'll be doing tomorrow. I do have a date, but I don't know if I should be posting or not. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. But in the meantime, I'll send you guys off with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed, everyone.